Hey, what's up, everybody? It is the Recap Lunch Hour with me, Guff, Ryan McGuffey. Whew, man, I'm not sure that I've had enough time to process. Yeah, actually, I've had plenty of time to process what the hell just happened again at Soldier Field last night, and a hell of a gift to Bears fans to wish them well heading into the offseason. It's the last home game at Soldier Field. Was as ugly as any game the Bears have played this season, probably the ugliest. And that is saying something in a debacle of a season. I think a debacle is definitely the word I'm using for the 2024 Chicago Bears season. I mean, what we saw last night was organizational ineptitude, organizational failure from the top down, and a coaching staff that belongs on a high school field. That whole stuff about, well, what if Thomas Brown wins 2 or 3 games? Are you out of your damn mind? I'm not saying that the guy's not likable or he's not capable of holding a podium, but we were sitting out here 4 weeks ago talking about what if Thomas Brown wins 2 or 3 games? I'm with Cap. And Broski, we're going to get to this. Good to see you back. Please don't tell me you want to keep polls after this debacle. I'm going to get to that because you're right. Yesterday we talked in the pregame show that we did. We moved the Recap Lunch Hour yesterday to a kind of a pre-show preview with me and Cap. And I was saying it was 50-50. You're saying Warren and Poles frickin' frack need to go. Kevin Warren's not going anywhere. Thomas Brown isn't even a good OC yet. He's not an OC. Forget being a good OC. He's not an OC. Like, good dude, what was that game plan? I mean, seriously, what was the game plan? Caleb Williams, I was so happy to see him pissed off last night after the game. He's so cerebral and smart, though, about how he composes himself and how he comports himself at the podium. So at that point, he had enough time to kind of let things process. He didn't really throw anybody under the bus. But what was happening in the third and fourth quarter on the offensive line? You know, the 4th and 1 that turned into a 4th and 5. You have the punt team come off, the clock stop, then you burn a timeout, then you bring – I don't even know. Yes, I understand the idea that the defense is playing well. You're going to pin him back and get 3 and out. There's 2:15 left in a 6-3 game. You stay on the field. You burn a timeout there. Now it's 4th and 6 because you have a guard who should not be playing in the NFL. Caleb said Hutt is running for his life immediately with 3 guys in his face. He makes a throw that I think less than 5 humans on the planet can make on 4th and 5, a great catch by DJ Moore, and it's first down. Then he throws a laser into Roma Dunze on 3rd and 14 for 15 yards. He puts that in a spot only one guy can catch it. And then 38 seconds right off the clock because no one supports Caleb Williams. Not one person. He mentioned it twice. He didn't want to say too much without getting fined. I know what he was doing. Talking about getting hit in the head and the throat. I went back and watched it. He does. It's a blatant 15-yard penalty that no one calls, but there's no one there to support him. There's not a coach pounding his fist in the grass. Everyone's sitting and looking around. It's like the ghost of Matt Eberflus is sitting in Soldier Field. Thomas says the Bears don't even show up in Green Bay. I actually think you're right, Thomas. I don't even know how much I'd have to look at the playoff scenarios. I don't even know if Green Bay needs to play anybody. But it doesn't matter, does it? I mean, Malik Willis is the backup quarterback. He's got some starts this year. What was the game plan? He's not an OC, not qualified. That's what I said. You had high school coaches coaching an NFL game last night. Caleb's all effort, and he's a pro. Broski, well said. This team is beyond a civic embarrassment. We're beyond a state embarrassment. We're beyond a regional embarrassment. We're a national embarrassment. Michael, that might be – you just one up Broski. How about the time management in 2 nationally televised games? Can we – like I said this last night. I was watching the game with my son and some buddies, and we're all together. And I said, I think you need to qualify. I think you need to qualify to – I think you need to qualify to make a sorry, got distracted. Qualified to make a national TV appearance. And the Bears, I don't care who they get next year. They shouldn't. be on national TV. And they're going to say, oh, Chicago market. Who wants to watch that crap? That wasn't fun. It was like watching a bad White Sox game. He's running for his life. Wayne, you're right. It's horrible. Ben, who would you take for the new GM head coach duo? All right, so Broski, let's get into what you're saying. Michael's saying fire Poles. Broski asked me earlier, and he says, I really appreciate the lunch hour with you and Cap. You guys do a great job. I appreciate it. All right, Eric. Okay, so let's get into this topic. Let's get into this topic right here. Hey, Guff, happy Friday. It was a civic embarrassment. We all agree. I would fire Ryan Poles after this season because he go down as one of the worst GMs in the history of the Bears. So here's where I'm at. Yesterday, I said 50-50, and I said that you could convince me that he should stay. And I think that I still can understand the argument. I know that's going to make some of you guys freak out. But last night, to me, was the final straw. Broski, I would fire Ryan Poles. I would. I like the guy. I think he's done a really good job in building some of the team. The trade with Carolina was a flippin' awesome trade. To get Caleb Williams, DJ Moore, I don't know what Darnell Wright is, but right now he's the only one capable of being on the starting offensive line next year. I just don't. This roster is so bad. The talent, the top-tier talent on the offensive and defensive line is non-existent. There are so many gaping holes, and they have a lot of money to spend in salary cap. And they're going to have to use all of their picks on offensive and defensive line, which they should. They should not draft one skill position, in my opinion. Not one. They have a center that can't even get the ball back in a normal shotgun. What the hell is going on? There are kids on the 13U team I coached this year that, I'm not kidding you, are more capable of firing a ball back to Caleb Williams than what the Bears have on the field. And that's a fact. And that is on the GM. How an owner can watch that quarterback go out there with that protection is enough for me to walk 3 doors down and say, Ryan, we'll meet as soon as the game goes final on Sunday in Green Bay. Because I have a lot of questions about how you're putting that kid out there who's by far the most talented quarterback in the history of the Chicago Bears, and it's not close. I know the kid's got warts. But that kid is by far the biggest talent at that position, the most important position in sports that the Bears have ever had. And they're putting that out there to protect him. It's an absolute embarrassment. It's an absolute embarrassment. And that kid goes up there and says it's on me last night. Caleb Williams looks into the microphone or speaks into the microphone, looks into the camera and says, this is on me. God, I love that. And I can't believe that that is what he has to go out there every damn day. And I've been saying, don't bench him. I don't care. You got to play him. I still believe that you got to play him in Green Bay. Maybe you pull him at halftime. He's already done enough to me to prove he is the future. And it's all about 18. And Ryan Poles has not put the kid in a position to succeed. And that's really sad. And I know everyone loves Torrey Taylor. I wouldn't have drafted a punter in the 4th round. I wouldn't have drafted a punter in the 4th round when you got so many damn glaring needs to protect the kid in front of you that you drafted a punter. RF, appreciate you here, man. Thanks for the plug, the donation, long-time watcher, first-time chatter. I can't stand hearing more about the effing Bears. What are you guys hearing the Cubs will do next? You know, I love the lunch hour so much because there's people that are like, F the Bears. What are the Cubs doing? Well, I can't tell you I know just yet. I still think they're in the market for a starting pitcher. They need a closer badly. Without laughing, tell us the score at Green Bay. 34-13, Wayne. And I don't care who lines up. Kevin, they want funds for a new stadium. Exactly. Thomas, never thought the Jags game would probably be their last win of the year, and I never thought this season would be worse than last year. Who did? Even going back like 6 weeks when we were like, they might lose out. There was no doubt. Like, there was legit hope about Thomas Brown. Dude, they look so bad. Most of them are unenthused. They're tackling from the waist up instead of the waist down. Raymond, appreciate you, man. Eric, this franchise is absolutely going nowhere with this piss-poor ownership that we have. It doesn't matter who our head coaches are. GM is what players are on our team. This ownership sucks. And I agree. I don't know how George McCaskey could sleep at night after last night. I honestly don't. I have one of these Oura rings. That thing would be red when I woke up this morning. It would say like, sleep 24. You need breaks. Your body needs to recover. Your stress level is here. That's what it would be for me. You know what? Matter of fact, I think that's what it is for me. And the fact that we care more than them makes me want to punch this computer. But that's not fair to me. It's certainly not fair to the computer. Ninos knows. 3 years ago, more than 50% of the fan base was loving Poles, quote, trimming the fat off the roster. Me too. And I blame them for this train wreck. Fans should have put the squeeze on them. It's too late now. Here's the problem. The fans, there was a sell the team chant last night. Guys, if 10,000 fans showed up and 50,000 empty seats, it would not matter. It's the NFL. The Bears are going to get their money. I honestly don't think ownership in this city gives two shits about whether or not fans have a boycott. I honestly don't. It's happened. And no one cares. Nothing's changing. Sucks. Jim Harbaugh wanted the job. Poles denied it. Poles did not deny that, by the way. Hang on for that. Didn't learn from Pace's mistakes either. His draft picks and free agent spending is terrible. We are so weak in the trenches. It's pathetic. Yeah. He's had some misses. He's had some misses. I'll say this. I'm not going to say he's been doing the job completely with one arm behind his back, but I know he did not want to bring Matt Eberflus back last year or this year. So Poles did not deny the Jim Harbaugh thing. Keep in mind, Kevin Warren and Jim Harbaugh, not the best of friends. Didn't like each other in the Big Ten. And our guy, Matt Eberflus, you like me, right? We spent 2 episodes of Hard Knocks talking about his damn beard. We should have known right then and there. Wayne, we're the 3rd largest city in the U.S. Why do all our teams suck? Can all ownerships in Chicago be that bad? 100%. It is. It's 100%. How it could be anything else? We need desperation. I've been saying that for too long. Certainly since I've been on the recaps. Certainly going back to my time at NBC Sports Chicago. I want desperation. Why is that so hard to ask? If I was an owner, if I was a GM, you don't always want to be desperate, but damn it, when your job is on the line, if I thought my job was on the line, I would be doing everything in my power to make sure one thing happens, that I stay in that seat. That's it. And I'd show some desperation. Breck Bear comes in with a stat I almost gave earlier, and I appreciate him. I love him. Breck, love you, baby. Hope you and the family had a great Christmas. Talk to you soon. Chicago has lost to Seattle 6-3 3 times this year. Twice the White Sox, which, by the way, I think the last game the White Sox played against the Mariners this year was 6-3, and last night. The jokes, I think Dan Wiederer had a tweet at the end of the game, his 3-word response, his famous 3-word response tweet about your reaction to the game. It said, Mariners 6, Bears 3. Fact. It's not about Poles being good enough. It's about seeking better options. Here's the other problem. Scrolls, thank you. Who exactly do you trust between George and Kevin Warren to get the GM and head coach right? I'm not saying that there shouldn't be change, okay? I'm not. But what I'm saying is we have done this cycle how many times since Lovie Smith? Like literally, Moose Muhammad, 15 years ago, said this is where receivers come to die. No. This is where great NFL scouts and coaches on the rise come to die. There was talk a couple of weeks ago about what if the Bears have a good OC and he leaves for a head coaching opportunity? Dude, that would be my stand-up starting joke. If I ever did a comedic tour in Chicago, I'd start with that line. And I would laugh my ass off at my own joke, because name an OC that's ever been wanted. That'd be the best problem that could ever happen. Pablo, what's up? Caleb could be the smartest and calmest QB the planet has ever seen. At that age, I would have been already at George's house asking him to sell the team. That's what I'm saying, man. Like, legit pissed. Did the handshake at midfield yesterday and sprinted off the field, like yelling. Broski, you have to consider his Poles the guy you want making the decision on who to hire the next head coach. But here's the other problem, Broski, with that. Like, Do you trust the guys above him? Like if Ryan's out, and the other thing that's when you clean a GM out, you're cleaning like the entire thing out. Usually you're cleaning like all the way down to the training staff, athletic trainers. And that, dude, I know there's not complete teardown rebuilds in the NFL. But there are complete teardown rebuilds in the NFL. We had one here, but they don't take long like in baseball. 1 or 2 years, you could be back in the playoffs. That's why, like, thank you for the sermon on K. God Williams. Completely agree. That's pretty good. You guys, I'm a huge Caleb guy. He's by far the best we've ever had. And I know it's a very short list of ugly when you talk about it, but his talent, that 4th and 5 throw last night, you guys, rewind it back. Just keep rewinding it back. Look at the tweets by Albert Breer. Albert Breer tweeted this yesterday, and I want to share it with you because I retweeted it because I thought this is dead on. Albert Breer of Amazon Prime broadcast and Monday Morning Quarterback. On the bright side, he retweeted the video on the 4th down to DJ Moore. On the bright side for Chicago, most quarterbacks would be done in this situation, not Caleb. Yep. Dude, I mean, and what sucks is that his interception streak ends on a bullshit pass because he's running for his life and he's about to be killed again. I didn't mind the Torrey Taylor pick. The real issue is drafting an injured left tackle from Yale in the 3rd. At least Taylor's good at what he does. I agree with that. I understand. But my point is, when your needs, you didn't need a punter as much as you needed a lineman. Poles was cut as a lineman, and now he needs to be cut as a GM. He never made it. But that's not like I don't need the personal attack. And I love you, Pablo. I don't care if Ryan Poles. There's a lot of former players, guys who had cups of coffee in all sports that are great execs or great coaches. Brown is over his head. The blame goes to Poles. Guys, I don't care. I would have rather seen, and I said this in the moment, Thomas Brown stay as the OC and just let Caleb eat. You know what I mean? And then I don't care who you put. It didn't really matter the puppet you were putting in the head coaching chair. This thing was over. We care more about this team than the millionaires. I know. Scrolls, you're right. Oh, look at this. Oh, baby. A first while I'm live. My partner in crime gets a little love you, honey. Go Boo Bears. Exactly. Love you too. How about that? I like anytime we could take a step back and get a little love on the show. Appreciate your love. Any good draft prospects at offensive line? Yeah, there'll be plenty, Clyde. And we're going to be sitting here, our off-season content. We have a whiteboard over there, just like GMs do. Maybe the Bears don't yet. We have a whiteboard of off-season content because we expected this team to be in the playoffs. Not doing this crap. Talking about a top 10 pick, going to the combine and the Senior Bowl, looking for a head coach and probably a GM. There'll be plenty. We'll get into those as the offseason continues. There's guys still declaring for the draft as we speak. Primo, Ryan Poles was not a good lineman. Guys, him not being a good lineman doesn't he was director of player personnel. He was a great scout in the league. Has nothing to do with how he played the position. None. When I suggested the Bears take Mason Graham if he's there, this is from Musashi. Some fan from another team called that selection stupid because we need O-line. So best player or biggest need? I've always been select the best player. But in this case, their need is so bad and so big that I would take the best player at the biggest need at this point. The beard failed us. I know. I should probably, I've never, Katie, who's our awesome, she's behind the scenes. She's never seen me without a beard, which anyone who knows me has basically never seen me with one. So I took on the Eberflus look right in time for football season, only to fall right into the same trap. So I don't know. Cut or keep? I kind of like it now. Katie says keep. The non-use of Cole Kmet. Oh my God, was this a topic? Said Mike McKinney. That was my college roommate, by the way. Good dude. Not sure he was my college roommate, but Mike McKinney, my college roommate. The non-use, he didn't even get a target last night. He's getting paid $14 million. The over-under on him yesterday was 17.5, and I seriously considered pounding the under. Didn't touch it. But what the hell? I mean, we were sitting there watching the game last night, and it's like 3rd and 2, and it's like, if only they had a $14 million tight end that was capable. Oh, wait. Poles has had his chance. The stars lined up perfectly. Offensive coach, Harbaugh, number 1 pick. Poles should be fired immediately. There's going to be a fall guy for this Godfather CHGO. And if you are at the CHGO, we work together. There's no competition here. We'll fight with you. Poles might be the fall guy for all this, but if you think he's the only guy to blame, there's a lot of people who should be looking in the mirror. Warren denied Harbaugh because of a personal grudge. There are stories that Poles denied him, but that's why Warren is a joke too. Kevin Warren was brought here to get a stadium done. How's that working? Shovels in the ground in 2025. Eric, why do you let Poles make more decisions after how poorly this team has performed? I'm not saying you will. They basically have 10 days in this season left. Everyone that's in the building's key cards work for roughly 10 more days. Hey, there's my guy, Lip Ripper Fishing Company. Bring in Bange at no point in killing CB18. Hey, good job on the UNLV bet. I haven't seen you live in a while. We hit that, and we'll get to the bet coming up from last night, which hopefully those of you who watched, it's hard to bet anything Bears, but hopefully if you watched and you took that DeAndre Swift. As a matter of fact, if you took the DeAndre Swift over 13 or 14 and a half receiving yards, depending on where you shop, let me know, because you got paid last night, and you're welcome. Wayne Guff, at least you're not bored with Chicago teams. That's true. You're dead on with that. Chicago, where everyone comes to die. Isn't it so bad? CW18, Lip Ripper. Hank Williams is learning to duck. Ivan. Yeah, a lot of new names in here. I'm loving this, Katie. A lot of new names. This team is where everyone comes to die. Well, that's true. It really is true, because we said this. Name one, and this is an indictment on not just the coaching staff, but Ryan Poles. Like, both sides of the football here. Who has improved this season? Caleb, I kind of like take out of the equation. Caleb has definitely improved from like week 1, 2, 3 to week 16, 17, 18. But like, you didn't have anything to go back on last year. Guys who were here a year ago that are here this year, who has actually gotten better? I'll hang up and listen. Oh, that's right. I actually said Roshan to this question a couple weeks ago. I'm not putting him in there anymore. He's not in it. Every sport's wet in Chicago is cheap. Wouldn't get away with that. Wouldn't get away with it in New York, Boston, or LA. New York, Boston, or LA don't have ownership like this. I mean, we could pound the payment and flip the table over. It doesn't mean George McCaskey or Jerry Reinsdorf are selling anything. Jailbreak probably helps to sign good free agent. It doesn't look very good across the board. I will say this: the Bears are like, people are still looking. They want to know what's going on in the management structure. There are people interested in being here. Pete Carroll, we talked about this yesterday. Cap is like, he's too old for me. And I say, why? The Bears should be considering everything. If Pete Carroll wants to come here for 3 years, he's top 3 culture builder of all time. I told Cap this yesterday. If I can guarantee you he's he's a 3-year deal and he's in the playoffs in years 2 and 3, are you saying yes? I am. Because he's bringing on a staff. He's likely bringing in a coach in waiting. He's certainly coming in my building. I'm getting as much information from him as possible. Eric, the only one I'm keeping is Darnell Wright. And I'm being dead serious about that. Literally the only offensive lineman I'm bringing back is Darnell Wright. Tevin Jenkins is not getting a contract offer from me. Wayne, I heard DJ earlier say there were times when they did not know what was going on with the calls. I saw that, especially on the punt. You know, there's a lot of people have a lot of problems with DJ Moore, guys. There's been people talking about trading him in the offseason. Oh, what? You traded DJ Moore. You're not bringing back Keenan Allen. All of a sudden you have Roma Dunze and a tight end that you don't target. Nah. DJ Moore's a damn good football player. Damn good football player. I understand why he's frustrated. Everybody should be. I don't think Poles can rebuild this team when half of his guys are the guys he brought in. Yeah, there's a little bit of arrogance to Velus Jones, to Chase Claypool. Hank saying IU went from 3 wins to 11 in 1 year. If there was only a portal in the pros where guys can just move on and you take them in their contracts, that'd be great. Who cares about an interceptionless streak? I think it's impressive that the kid, that no rookie in the history of the game did what he did, Thomas. It's impressive to not make Look, he probably took some sacks instead of threw some interceptions throughout the year. In the end, it doesn't really mean much. You're right. But it's impressive. Peyton Manning had 28 picks in year one. I don't know, Mike. And that's something the Bears need to figure out. Is Jaquan Brisker healthy enough? Can he play again? And if not, you need to look at a safety. This Tyreek Stevenson. Like, what's his future here? If not for the 2 toss-up pick, yeah. I know. That's what I'm saying, Scrolls. You agree. Cap's chiming in with a high Candace. Look at him. The wife getting some play today. What? Broski. Watch McCaskey hire another old, decrepit advisor to assist in his decision on who didn't. That would be a terrible idea. Terrible. Thomas Brown is garbage. Let's stop acting like he knows a thing about coaching. Just another former player with a certain aspect about him that teams like to hire. He orchestrated that 3-point loss. Yeah, I'm not much for the personal jabs. I think the guy can coach football. He's from the Sean McVay coaching tree. You guys have to remember, 8 weeks ago, if I went up and down this chat and polled every one of you, Thomas Brown is on the Bears coaching staff. What does he coach? I bet you most of you would not even know he's on the staff. So he went from pass game coordinator to offensive coordinator to head coach in 3 weeks. Of course he's overmatched. We shouldn't be. I don't want to take a personal former player with a certain aspect. I think I know what's going on there. I don't like that. I think the guy's capable of coaching in the NFL, especially where the tree he came from. But let's not pretend that the guy is qualified to be the head coach. He just happens to be thrown in that chair. But the stuff about him getting an interview needs to stop because I think that has shown itself. Cannibal. Good O-line can cover up for bad defense, control the clock, and protect the defense. Charles. Pulls decision-making questionable at best. Yep. Any good? No, Clyde. Nothing right now in the Cubs or Sox. We are taping a White Sox podcast here in a little bit with BA, but nothing down. Scroll saying you trade down. Yeah, it's good. Will the Bears stockpile picks? It's going to keep getting colder. I'm shaving my. Oh, okay. We got some chiming in here on the beard. So Pablo's saying to keep because it's going to get colder. Scrolls is shaving his beard before he ends up getting fired. Uh-oh. The wife has chimed in with a cut. That's kind of that vote means a lot more. Wayne saying keep. We may have to see what happens. You can't talk about trade down if Poles is still the GM. Time to pull a Richard Kimball. Landed, great reference. We watched the movie the other night prior to Christmas. I think we watched it on Friday night. You switch the samples. I love it. Landon, beautiful. I need about 3 to 4 to make sure. Yeah, I know. I got picks for you, Lipper. Okay, we're about to bring in the bet of the day. Looking forward to it. Did you get anything or give anything good for Christmas? Yeah, I got time with family, man. Got a couple of great gifts. I always love giving gifts. It's all about my kids on Christmas morning. If you can get any type of reaction, they're at an age now where you start to. Maybe the reactions are a little bit less, but we got some. So I enjoy Christmas morning, and I'm trying to keep that as long as I can. Keep the innocence for as long as possible because everyone else is trying to steal it. Mike's saying, oh, Candace getting another play here. Your husband married up, way up. Easy, Mike. No, I'm kidding. Appreciate you, Mike. Broski, Bears draft. Yeah, everyone's saying the same thing. We're all saying the same thing. Good point, Gruff. Every player to a man has regressed. I appreciate the correction, bro. What is Montez Sweat good at except for driving the bank and depositing his $1 million checks? I know. Eric, if you think about it, Guff, Lovey got fired in 2012 with a winning record ever since McCaskey took over. Yeah, it's been literally it is a national embarrassment. When I got buddies from all over the country, some of which are on this chat right now and watching, chiming in with a joke or a meme about the Bears. It used to make me mad when I was younger. Now I'm like, yeah. And I'll try to respond with something funnier because that's how bad it is. It is. I'd like to pair Ben Johnson's creativity. Me too. I hope Ben Johnson can lead a room if he's the guy. Needs a lead offensive line. Doesn't have the legs like Lamar or Justin Fields. I'll put Jane Daniels does not have the legs of Lamar or Justin Fields either. Nobody. Couple more here. Nathan, I'll add this one. Who puts together a winning season first, Sox or Bears, and what year is it? Okay, this is easy. The Bears, because the White Sox have to make a 41 game jump to get to 82 and 80. So the Bears by default, I'll say 2026, 2 more years before we get a winning season for the Bears. I think we need to draft a safety. Wayne saying Stevenson has to go. I mean, even last night, he's getting into it again. I see Brisker getting a second contract. All right, don't see Tyler. Yeah, it depends on injury history. You can't give Brisker another one. David, don't allow Poles to make another move in the offseason. The only move left after the Packers game is a pack of shit. Book a one-way ticket out of town. Yep, I know. That's how we're all feeling, man. Now that I got that out of the way, what's up, guys? It was great, David. Hope yours was too. Drive. I thought they would win 7 games at best, but thought they would play better. By the way, can we have a show where you just do movie impressions, please? They're awesome. Rocky movies, Fugitive. If he dies, he dies. Yeah, let's you're talking about Uncle Paulie? You should have left that bum in the street. Lovey has a losing record since leaving. Well, he's responsible for us getting Caleb Williams. So this season was as much hype as a defense crapping the bed it all started the last play in Washington. How did you feel about Herb Street basically calling the Bears a circus on national TV? Call them out. Absolutely. Why wouldn't we? I mean, Al Michaels makes reference to it all the time. All the time, and he should. Appreciate you, Wayne. Not a professional team, Corey. Group of pathetic amateurs. Yeah. I bought it. Jailbreak. It's easy. Like, of course I bought it. I loved Caleb Williams. Guess what? Here's what the best part of me buying the hype. Still love Caleb Williams. Still think he's the dude. Still think he's going to be a flipping star. So I guess the worst thing to come out of this season is the train wreck. The best thing is that the thing I was caring about most, to me, has shown itself. Okay? So there we go. Uncle Paulie, he had me in the elevator. All right, guys. So complete catastrophic mess yesterday. Let's do, woo-hoo-hoo. Guys, remember how bad it was to start? We were 2-7-1. I started to say fade me. Well, hopefully that fade has changed because another win last night. We're up to almost 500 after a 2-7-1 start. I said yesterday, take the over on DeAndre Swift receiving yards at 13 or 14 and a half. And my exact quote was, I think with the screen game that he's one catch and run from making this a hit. And guess what he did? I think early second quarter, little flipper out to the right side, down the sideline after he had one catch for 2 yards in the first quarter. He goes for 15. Boom. Check that box. He ended up having about 30 yards receiving. So an easy cash before halftime of a miserable game. So if you had that, well done because we nailed it. Texas Tech tonight, late night bowl action in against USC, Big Ten game. I'm taking Texas Tech. A lot of transfer portal stuff going on. A lot of guys declaring for the draft. A lot of guys sitting out bowl games here. And I like Texas Tech here. I like Texas Tech. A lot of guys I'm in on are big fans of Texas Tech here. Didn't have that over last night. Looks good. So Texas Tech, be careful where you shop. Okay. DraftKings has it right now at 2.5. FanDuel's up to 3.5, but that's at plus money. We're going to take the 2.5 at minus 110. And let's see if we can get this puppy 500 by the new year. Are you kidding me? What a run. We're up to 5-1. I want to get this quote or this comment in from Wayne. You need to come up with t-shirts and hoodies for this show. I'm in. Oh, Katie's never been more excited in the background of the chat. I don't hate this at all. You know, love their lunchtime recap. Ray, yeah, Christmas was great. Love the Texas Tech pick. Rip. Okay, so Lip Ripper, he doubled down a couple weeks ago. I picked UNLV -3. He's a UNLV alum. He's sitting right here. We did not know each other. The fact that a UNLV alum is sitting here while I'm picking UNLV, I mean, come on, what are the odds? Well, in that case, they were -3. Tonight, I'm going Texas Tech. I let Lip Ripper get a pick in that day. I can't remember what it was, but it hit. I think it was an over. It was a total. And I let him get that chat in. Go look at my NHL picks. I just sent them. Where you send them, Lip Ripper? Let me know where you send them. Let the people know. Let the people know where your picks are, and I will make sure people take a look at them because that, my friend, is good stuff. Yeah, Jailbreak Tech. So it looks like a lot of people are on the Texas Tech. Guys, we're on a 5-1 run here, okay? We're on a 5-1 run. I know it's going to crash. It always does. We always at some point take an L, but I'm excited about getting this puppy back up to 8-1. I'm sorry, 8-1. It's in the chat. Let's see if I can find those. There's been a boatload of comments. Okay, Lip Ripper. Here's what he loves tonight. For those who want to follow extra picks, I'll let Lip Ripper get his. He loves Bedard over 2.5 shots, Patrick Kane over a half assist, and the Vegas puck line. Hey, Lip, I don't mind playing a little NHL. McPucky, they used to call me back in the NBC Sports Chicago days. All right, guys, we're going to put a wrap on this. Roger, you like Ohio State to win the national title. By the way, those games are next week. We'll get into those. Okay, a little programming note. I am going out of the country this weekend, and I'll be gone all next week. However, I think we'll be doing the recap lunch hour from an undisclosed location. You might be pissed at me when you see me fire up the cam next week. I'll probably take, just so we're all clear, probably take New Year's Day off completely. It's the holiday, but we're going to be firing up the lunch hour in an undisclosed location. We're still going to have the bet of the day. I don't know how it's going to time out wise. Katie and I will discuss that when we're off. But you guys have been awesome to me, and it's been just as fun for me as it's been for you. I appreciate all the love, all the comments. And Landon, what do you got here? Looking forward to the new iteration of Beard Money. I mean Beer Money in 2025. We actually might have something coming down the pipeline on that. Happy New Year to you, Lip Ripper. Love the show. Love you guys all for the comments and all the fun. So mysterious. Have fun. It'll definitely be mysterious. But like I said, it'll be fun when we pop it on the camera. You guys are all on. Guff, are you Cap's son-in-law or something? No. My wife, Candace, who showed herself today, is not Cap's daughter. So I'm not his son-in-law. I'm his brother from another mother. That's how we treat each other. He's my older brother. We're partners in this venture, this little venture we're calling the Recap. And again, we're happy to have you guys on board. That'll put a wrap on this edition of the Recap Lunch Hour with me, Guff, Ryan McGuffey. For all of us here at the Recap, we appreciate you. For Katie behind the scenes, for all of our people here in this studio, which is just me right now. For Cap, we appreciate you. Have a great weekend. We will talk again before the new year. We do have a recap, White Sox recap podcast that'll drop later tonight. It'll be a New Year's resolution edition. We'll have a recap rush hour that'll drop later on the channel. And if you haven't caught the Bears recap from last night, that's approaching 40,000 views as we talk about the embarrassment and the disgrace. And Cap has a couple lines in there that made me jump back and laugh a few times. Appreciate you. For everyone here at the Recap, I'm Ryan McGuffey. Have a great, great weekend and have a safe and happy and healthy new year. But again, we will talk prior to that.